Now, Coi Leray's first week sales. I want to give my take on these first week sales from Coi Leray. She dropped an album recently and the numbers have definitely been a hot topic, so yeah, let's talk about it. Now, Coi Leray, are you guys familiar with the name? She's a Boston-born, Jersey-raised 24-year-old female rapper. Got her first big break with the song No More Parties. That one ended up making its way onto the Billboard Hot 100 chart and peaked at number 26 sometime after its release. That aside, getting straight into it cause that's what I do. For the last couple weeks/months, Coi Leray has been gearing up towards dropping her debut album. She officially announced her album Trendsetter, that's what it's titled, at the end of March a couple weeks ago. April 8 was the release date for the album, so it's been out for a little over a week at this point. The first week sales for the album are officially in, and she sold 11.5k first week. So her album was projected to do around 11,000 initially, which that's what she got, but in the middle of the week the projections actually went down to 9k, so she was at that point set to move 9,000 first week. Like I stated, however, in the end she sold 11.5k, which 9k and 11k, potato. Her album ended up debuting at number 89 on the Billboard Top 200, and yeah, that's that. I think it goes without saying, but these numbers are obviously underwhelming. I can't really look at this and say that it's anything but a flop. Coi Leray has been one of the most talked about young female rappers coming up in the industry. She's been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of press in the last 12 months. People, generally speaking, may not be too fond of her, but the industry loves her. So she's definitely been getting a lot of industry support. She's gotten a lot of cosigns from some extremely big names, Nicki Minaj being one of them. And Nicki was actually on this album for anyone who didn't know. She's featured on this record called Blick Blick. It came with a music video that dropped around a month ago. Apart from the Nicki feature, there are a bunch of other features on this project. Fivio Foreign was on it, Young and May, G Herbo, Polo G, R&B artist Her, Nav, Dirk on the No More Parties remix, Lil Tecca, A Boogie with the Hoodie, and Pooh Shiesty on Big Brr, which dropped a while ago. Despite all the features, despite this being her debut album, despite the major label backing, despite all the press she's been getting in the last 12 months, and despite having a very big social media presence, over 6 million followers on Instagram and 9 million on TikTok, she only did 11k. Goes without saying, but followers doesn't equate to real fans. I think what Coi Leray's been going through is what we've seen a lot of other rappers go through, which is the hype is there clearly, but does the hype outshadow the actual support you're getting? This case, I would definitely say so. Going back to what I said a second ago, there's been a lot of hype and coverage surrounding Coi Leray's name, especially in the last year. She's been involved in a lot of public situations like the Walking Dead crowd and some other things. In the midst of all these stories going viral in the media, she's gained a lot of new fans during this time. But the perception of how popular she really is, I believe, has fooled a lot of people because we've seen how much coverage she's gotten. And the way I look at Coi Leray is, to me, she's someone with a lot of clout, but not a lot of depth. That's what these numbers tell me. And another thing about Coi Leray is I still can't pinpoint her audience. I really don't know who listens to Coi Leray. She's one of those artists who I don't think has tapped into a specific pocket of the industry yet. She's definitely popping, but she doesn't seem to have a lot of direction in her movement. TikTok has of course played a big part in her rise, but if we take that away, what's her foundation looking like then? It all comes down to her music, because as far as her music, I don't really think Coi Leray is connecting with people all that well, and that's why this 11k makes a lot of sense to me. I'm also not sure if Coi Leray can really keep up with some of the other female rappers in the industry. Lotto would be a good example. She recently dropped an album herself. The album is titled 777. Her album did okay if you ask me. It sold 23k first week. I was actually expecting her to do at least 30k, especially considering the fact that Big Energy, which is her biggest song at the moment, has been going super crazy. Also, Lotto did have some heavy hitters on her album. 21 Savage, Lil Wayne, Childish Gambino, Lil Durk, and Kodak Black, to name a few. She's obviously in a completely different space than Coi Leray, let me just say that off the rip. But Coi Leray, I'm not sure, could compete with people like Lotto, just due to the fact that she doesn't seem to have the same intensity as her female contemporaries. I think it's going to be interesting to see how she proceeds after this. Coi Leray is, after all, heavily discussed in hip-hop media, but it seems like that coverage isn't necessarily translating into real fans. But yeah, Coi Leray's first week sales. Any thoughts on this conversation? Like we covered, Coi Leray recently dropped her album Trendsetter and it sold 11.5k. Any thoughts on these numbers? I'm very curious what you have to say, so yeah, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Like the video. Let's talk about it.